guys, you probably did not expect me here, but I'm Saim, and I'm going to be sort of interviewed by Saim. Yeah,
Indeed.
that's a bit weird, but I'm excited. So Saim, the floor is yours, man. Thank you so much for having me.
I have so many questions, and a lot of people have
Yeah.
so many questions. Let me just ask them to Saim. From Saim
Okay.
to Saim. You know?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm curious about how does Saim Rahman's videos pre-production looks like?
So the process starts with usually something that I'm inspired by, or something that I see or hear or listen to or watch. I don't know. It's very weird sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, actually I sit down and I'm like, okay, I need to make a video. I don't know what it's gonna be about, but I gotta think of something. There was this one time I was talking to my dad about something, and I haven't really made that video yet, but that's how pre-production sometimes is for me. Is basically we talked about how, when I was like 6 or 7 years old, he got a guitar for me. Like his mom and him got me a guitar, and they wanted me to take like guitar lessons. They wanted me to learn music and stuff. And at that time, it was a very expensive thing for them, and they still wanted me to, see if I actually like that. And I immediately thought of a video idea that I could make, and it would be about how, some parents are like so into their children's growth and upbringing that they would want to make sure that they get to experience each and everything, to, sort of explore their interests. And that was really nice. So I wrote a script for that in my notes on my phone. I just didn't get the chance to make it, but that's really it. Like sometimes I watch a show and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool, I could maybe make something along these lines. And so when that happens, I write down a script. I open this app called Notion. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. I
Of
write down a
course.
script
Yeah.
on there, and what I do is I make a story. I even check out all the, what kind of shots could come here, what kind of videos, what kind of A roll, what kind of B roll would fit here, and that's how I do it. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Other times, sorry, this is going a bit long, but other times what I
Oh,
do is
take your
I
time.
actually film. Yeah, okay, okay, yeah, but other times how I do it is that I film the whole video. So when with the vlogs that I make, what I do is I've just film the whole thing. I go about my day, hang out with my friends or with my family, and it's a vlog, and we're just chilling. And once I have all the footage, I review that, and then I write the script. And so there's a video that I'm gonna be posting, hopefully by the end of next week. That's how I did that. I just filmed it. I was in the Netherlands then, and I just filmed it, and I thought, okay, we'll worry about the story and the scripting and all of that later. And so once I got back to my laptop and everything, I reviewed all the footage. I write down the script, and I then actually choose, okay, which clip would fit here, which clip would fit here, and if anything's missing, I would just record that afterwards and tie it together. So yeah, it's a mix of
Okay.
everything.
It's a mix of everything. Basically, I feel like if I was to sum it up, um, Saim's video is like there's two things coming out of it. One is, so if you have an idea, you will write a script and then kind of go through, okay, I have this stuff written down. Where can I add B-roll? Where can I add A-roll? How will the voiceover look like? Stuff like that. And then the
Exactly.
second one is, it's like how we shoot short form content now. It's just, you just kind of improvise.
Exactly. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I know your journey started from Wine. Then you
Yeah.
had multiple channels, your skits channel, Nameless.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had your
Exactly.
SKJ vlog days. But there's things that always stands out. That's your ability to tell a story
Yeah.
and your editing. So first thing, let's just talk about editing a long form video and short form video, because now before TikTok came in the world, I feel like we were mainly just looking to make long form videos. So how are you working on long form and short form at the same time, editing both videos?
So,
It's a long ass
huh.
question. I apologize.
No, no, that's okay. Yeah, I guess things have changed quite a bit now. There's a lot of focus on short form content, and it has taken like the internet by surprise. Like I when it started, I was actually not in favor of it. I'm like, okay, this is a bit weird. I'm used to watching content on YouTube, but that's also like what's the word for it? That's also like very contradictory because I started on short form, so I started on Vine and everything, but I was more of a fan of long form content, and so I decided to make a YouTube channel and put videos out there and everything, but you see that all these people that create short form content, they just go big. And when it so how I've divided it right now in
Mm-hmm.
my like career is that long form is where I'll put in all the work. It'll from the story, from pre-production, production to post-production, I'll put in like a lot of effort. I'll put in a lot of thought, put a lot of thought into it before the final product comes out. Which for short form, basically, I don't give a shit. I that's I think that's how simply I would put it, because short form for me is like a tool to sort of get engagements and views and garner an audience. That's for me. I'm not saying that's how it should be for everyone or that's how it is for everyone. That's how it is for me right now, because I have put out short form content that has a lot of thought into it, like the story and the editing and the filmmaking and everything. But mostly for me, like if you see my TikTok or my Instagram, it's just random BS that I do with my siblings or myself or my friends or my family. And that doesn't have a lot of work into it. So I treat short form like that. But with long form, I really need to make sure that it's perfect and it's according to something that I would also want to see and something that, I like making as well. So yeah, long form is like, oh, hard work, a lot of thought. Short form is like, okay, it's fun, it's chill. That's how I would define it.
No, I see that. What do you mean by it's a perfect video? Because being honest, I see that common theme in your videos where you have your voiceovers, black screen, and then the scene changes. You got your B rolls, transitions, and I feel like you have this formula when it comes to editing a long form video.
I guess I do have a style, but as I go through my YouTube channel sometimes, which I actually do, sometimes scroll down and watch my old videos. I do see that a lot has changed. The way that I tell a story, the kind of content that I try to film, it has changed. But at the same time, there's a style there that's just there, and that hasn't changed. And by the perfect video, what I mean is that something that I enjoy making. I enjoy filming it, writing it, editing it, and everything. And something that, is like, okay, this sort of falls under the category of like a short film. Like, something that has. So the thing that attracts me the most is high production, right? And so I wouldn't say
Gotcha.
that I'm like a master at it. I wouldn't say that, my videos are just so good quality, the color grading and the sounds and everything is so great. I wouldn't say that. But if it comes close to something like that, then that makes me happy. That's something that I would consider is a perfect video.
Interesting, because I feel like this is just me assuming. I feel like the way I see it, that if you put more work into something, you're more proud of it. Have you noticed it?
Exactly.
You personally know that you're a good storyteller, right?
I mean, I guess I've been told that. I don't know if I fully believe in it though.
What is it going to take for you to believe in it? Is there a certain metric? Like what are you measuring?
I don't know. I mean, uh, if I'm going to be honest, I don't actually measure that. I've been told by a lot of people that yes, I tell good stories and everything. But see, that's just like something that I maybe it's because it comes naturally to me. I'm like, okay, this is pretty normal. But as you see people talk about it, they're like, oh, maybe it's not that normal for them. And oh my god, I sound like such an asshole. I'm not trying to be all
No.
braggy or arrogant or anything. Trust me. What I'm trying to say is that I love the compliment and I love that when people say that, but maybe I don't believe in it because maybe it's just just comes to me that way. And so it's easy for me to do. When it's like something that's very, very hard for me to do or like, work on. And when that's appreciated, it's like, okay, damn. I mean, cool. Okay, I believe in it. I actually put the work in. But with storytelling, I don't think I put a lot of work in the story itself. I just do what comes naturally to me. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
So that makes sense. It makes sense. So if we were to go from an idea, from a pre-production stage all the way to post-production, how would you tell the story? Say, I mean, I don't want to put you on a spot.
Okay.
What can we tell a story about? Let's tell a story about.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay, let's go.
So there's this series that I have on YouTube. It's called Milwate Hain Aapko, which means let me introduce you to. So, when I did like the first 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, when this is done, I could probably start a series of sort of introducing anything to a viewer in a very creative manner. And so the one video that came to my mind was, it wasn't titled this, but you could title it this way. And I haven't really made it, but if I did, I might not title it this, but you could, which is Milwate Hain Aapko is tarboos se. So, which translates to, let me introduce you to this watermelon. And the idea was that, okay, there's something about my dad that, he in the summer, he really likes watermelons. And I thought of a story and I'm like, okay, what's the experience of buying a watermelon in Pakistan? And how we go about it is that, okay, beta tarboos le aao, so get us a watermelon. And how you would go is that you'd go to the shop, you go to the shopkeeper and tell him, okay, I need like this many in kgs or anything like that, maybe 2 or 3, I don't know. And you take the knife and you cut out like a piece, you take it out and you see how good is it, and they let you do that, and you see, you might even taste it. You never know. And so then you put it back in and you buy the whole thing, bring it back, and then have it with your families. And the unique thing about that, having a watermelon is that people throw the seeds out. I don't. I just swallow them. And so a whole story could be developed around that. And so the start is dad asking me to go get it. The whole experience is how you get it from the shopkeeper, and like you see how good of a fruit that is, and then you come back and you eat it. And so there's a start, there's a middle, and then there's the end, and then some funny bits in the middle. So that's how I sort of approach these ideas. It's like, okay, I have to make it funny because I do think I'm funny, and I have to tell a story. So it must have a beginning and it must have an end that sort of doesn't leave you on a cliffhanger.
Oh, okay. I like that. Dude, I'm genuinely learning so much here.
Thanks.
Like, okay, so then I feel like when you're telling a story, you look more deeply into the experience of that certain thing that you're telling a story about. Will that be correct?
Exactly.
Say if I was to tell a story about this company, I need to tell how it makes me feel when I drink this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, you said you're a funny guy. We all can agree that you're a funny guy. How does... But I feel like it gives you an edge over somebody else that's a content creator. How would you... If someone else wanted to add humor to their videos, how do they do so?
So I don't know what it's called. I don't think it has a name, but it's like, when you're interacting between two people or 2 or more people are interacting. And so, for example, there's this character 1 and then there's character 2, and they're having a conversation and character number 2 says something really weird, and character number 1 is like, suddenly he or she just looks at the camera with a fucking awkward face because like he's weirded out by what the second person said, and then there's an immediate cut to something else, like the story continues. And so you're like, there was this awkwardness, and that's very funny. That's one technique. I've done that a few times, but I don't actually actively think about it. It's like, in the moment, it's like it comes to your head. And so, I also love puns. the lamer the joke, the more lame a joke is, the better it is. I think puns, lame jokes, dad jokes, they're the best because everyone gets them. No, there's no single person who doesn't understand a good old dad joke, you know?
Indeed. And if we
Yeah.
can find people who don't, I don't know if we necessarily want to be around them. That's not the vibes.
I mean, if
Okay.
you vibe with, hi, dad, I'm hungry, and you're like, hi, hungry, I'm dad, then that's great. I love you, and I want to be friends with you.
No, straight up. Okay, and no, see, that is gold. That is how you being able to embrace who you are as a person and your emotions. I think you can add humor to it. Does that make
Exactly.
sense?
Yeah, of course, of course. And I do think, like, I also do think some people are just not funny, or maybe they don't like have that sense of humor, and that's okay. That's not a problem. It is a thing that you sort of have in yourself as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say that everyone can be funny or be humorous.
Got it. And what about relatability factor?
Okay. So with relatability, I think that's like a key for being viral. So if you're relatable, there's a very high chance that you could go viral in today's world. Because like on Instagram, the algorithm with the reels and everything, it just is crazy, man. Like I think anyone could go viral on Instagram. Like when and even TikTok. So like when creators started creating videos, and I'm talking about Pakistan right now, when they made like skits on Facebook, it was all just relatable stuff. It was like you probably have heard of Zaid Ali and Shavir
Of
Jafri and
course.
Shami Idris, our
Yeah.
top creators. They did these things. They're like, oh, there was this one video of Zaid where he's like, oh, when your friend chews with his mouth open and eats with his
Indeed.
mouth open and like chews loudly. That's relatable. Like we have some people in that. So that did really well in that time. Then there came a period when these relatable videos just didn't do that much. It was more about vlogs or films and stuff like that. But right now, if you make a silly video with bad acting, but as long as it's relatable and it has, even the bad acting has the funny element to it, it could go like with thousands of views and like shares and everything. And so it helps. It really, really helps. My first taste of relatable video that went really viral on Instagram was with my brother and sister that I made. That when you wake up your dad, when you try to wake up your dad in the middle of the night versus when you try to wake up your mom in the middle of the night, and that's a relatable thing. That video did crazy. So yeah, relatability
Yeah.
is, I think, directly proportional to virality.
You know why? I feel like because I'm learning about content these days, and it's because it allows you to get shares, plain and simple.
Yeah,
Because if I
Yeah.
see anything relatable, I'm sending it to my girlfriend or my parents or friends. Plain and simple.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you see, I saw the video when you bought your friend Haris an Afghani burger
Yeah.
for an intro music. And I'm always
Yeah.
struggling with finding good intro music or just music in general. Because I've noticed I feel like, put a lot of time finding the right music.
Yeah.
Spill the secret, please and thank you.
So, completely not sponsored at all, but Epidemic Sound is crazy good. It is so good. Like, I'm actually so happy with what they've put out. Like, their service, the product, it's just amazing. You can find whatever you want there. The thing with videos in general is, for me, is that, some of my videos are just inspired by the music that I've listened to. And so if I listen to a certain track, I'm like, oh, I definitely need to make a video using this track. And so whatever the video it might be, I just need to use this track. And so, the track inspires the video. But most of the times, I'm like, okay, the video's done. Let's find some music. And my go-to place is Epidemic Sound. Their the playlists on there, and the fact that you can look up music in terms of the mood or the genre or the type of video, and then it's just crazy. It's just really nice. That, and the second secret that I've never really told anyone, I mean, they've probably guessed it, but I've never really told anyone outrightly, is that for my own YouTube videos, there's this duo music duo called Layup, Layup. Their music is amazing. I don't know where they've been for so long, but they have like around 40 tracks or something. Sometimes when I'm really lost and I can't find anything, I just go to Layup and I'm like, okay, let's look at their tracks, and I just use it. I don't care about the copyright. I don't really care because it's not an issue for me. I just need to make the video good.
See, that's interesting. So money is not motivating you to create.
Well, not for long form, not yet.
Got it. What motivates you to create then?
Wow, let me think. Of course, when it comes to like money is an element. I won't lie, but not for long form because I don't really make money from long form content, like from YouTube or anything like that. All the money that I've made making content has been through Instagram. And so that is, of course, a factor that, I'm going to grow a big audience so that I can make more money. And then if I can make enough money, I could then do this full time. But when it comes to long form, I just think that I really like telling stories, man. I'm like, you know what? I just want to talk. I just want to talk to the camera and say something that is of value to me, to the people. I just want to tell you about this. So, if I want to talk to you about my mom, then I'll make an episode like I did for Milwate Hain Aapko episode 2. I just want to do that. I like telling stories. I think I have a knack for it. And I don't know, it's something that I'm good at. It's something that I'm good at and something that I like. That's what motivates me.
Straight up. Got it. And also you've been doing it since 2014, 2013.
Yeah. I
Dude,
don't know
10
why.
years.
Yeah, bro, it's been
10
crazy.
years.
It's been a long time. Yeah.
I wonder how many people think that you are an overnight success.
I actually wonder about that. Maybe not overnight, but like a lot of people don't know about Vine or Nameless or how I used to make those SKG vlogs and those travel films and stuff. They don't know much. They even don't know about Pakistan Now and how I made documentary films for them. Like all they know about is my sister, my brother, my family, and the funny shit I do on Instagram. So the ones who know, I respect them so much. I'm like, okay, you are an OG follower,
I'm going to have you come in the middle of the frame because you're going right
sorry.
here.
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
You're good.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't fly for the short form,
Yeah, you're right.
No, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I hope you're having fun.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry. I feel like I ramble on a lot.
But that's why this is a conversation,
Yeah. Yeah,
we
that's
figure
true.
out the rambling post-production, maybe.
Yeah.
So, okay, a bit of a change of topic, but making videos like why are we killing our women? How was that for you as a creative? Like, I just kind of want to talk to you about your headspace when making a video about such a deep topic.
Bro, that was tough. Trust me, that was one of the toughest periods of my life as a creator. It was too hard because, so the story goes that I was hired to be a travel journalist at this media production, like digital news platform called Pakistan Now. So it was kind of like inspired by Vox and Vice. And, one of our really big podcasters, Muzammil Hassan, he started that company. And I was hired to, make documentary films. So I was hired to, I was also told that I should come up with my own show. And the show was called Up Close. And to be honest, I don't really like the name. I don't know why we chose that name. I mean, we just didn't think of it. Claire, that's beside the point. The thing is that, the idea behind the show was that we would try to get in behind why things are a certain way here in Pakistan and why do people behave a certain manner and stuff like that. And so that's what inspired the first episode was actually about the freelancing industry in Pakistan, but we never really produced that video. Like I shot it, but
it just didn't turn out right, so we didn't really upload it. But the first episode was about the bindi boys and why this term bindi boys is so like controversial. And so it was to get to know the why. And during the second episode, Noor Mukaddam, who was a very important figure, well, she is a very important figure right now, but like she was brutally killed by her husband. And I don't remember well. It was her husband or boyfriend. I think it was her husband. I'm not sure. But yeah, she was brutally killed. And, the whole country was like really, really upset at this, especially, of course, the women, because, it's just sad that what's sadder is that the blame was on her. Like a lot of people blamed her for her own death. And
Oh man, sorry I'm interrupting you, but when I saw that, I was so pissed off. No, even like yesterday when I sent you that video, I was like, yo, how do you not understand? Like, we're living in 2024 and the video was made in like years back, but like still,
yeah,
how can you blame her? And it's just, this is why, oh man, I don't want to get into the politics and the religion and stuff like that.
I know
but-
what you mean. So what happened was that, I don't remember who exactly gave the idea, but I think it was the person, who did my research and helped me write the script, Momina. She came up with the idea that, we could make a video on this, and we discussed it with Muzammil Bhai. And he said, okay, you can go ahead with this. And so because this was such a very like heated topic and like very deep, all the research and everything was done by Momina and our other friend Mariam. She was also working there. And both of them did the research. They divided it amongst themselves. And, I took bits and pieces from them and helped write the story. But bro, if I'm going to be honest, I could not have done that video without those two, because they were like my support pillars. They were constantly like driving the whole thing. And, when we went out to shoot like any interview or any person for their thoughts or opinions, they were with me, or either they asked the questions or I did, but they were with me. And, we really went all out. And then if there were any professors or any important people interviewed through the Zoom calls, they did that. It wasn't me. And so we only thought it was fitting that, they also tell the story of it. And so that's why when I filmed it, I had them say all the script lines, and I did that too, but most of it was them. And why I say it was a very tough part of my life as a creator was that I was worried that I might get canceled for supporting women, because, it's Pakistan. You can't. And I thought then, all the religious elements in the country might, or those who support the very extreme parts of that of our religion, they would not appreciate what I did with my team, of course. And I was very worried, and I just didn't know how this video would be received. And also, that was part one. The second part of me being all anxious and everything was that what if I don't tell the story really well? So I was like, what if this just doesn't turn out to tell the whole story? And what if the women who watch it, they're like, okay, I mean, this doesn't make any sense. This is not helping our cause or anything like that. That was worrying me a lot too. And so the day I uploaded it, I was very anxious. And the next day when I saw the response, I was relieved, bro. Everyone was like, okay, this is such a great thing that you guys did and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm so glad, because this was hard. And like those 2 weeks that we spent writing and filming and everything, hardest 2 weeks of my life, bro. So it was only natural that after that episode, I would make a video about a fucking sandwich, because, that's easier to do.
Yeah, no. Man, I mean, shout out to the whole team. It was Mariam and who? Momina.
Mariam Kiani and Momina Ashraf.
Okay, so before you drop the series, Milwate Hain Aapko, which basically was you would showcase your loved ones. Because I saw in your headspace, you were like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know where to take my content. I don't really know my style. So let's talk about that.
I think sometimes I'm still in that headspace where I'm like, okay, where am I going with this? Because, you know, the other day my dad asked me, he was like, okay, if you're gonna do YouTube one day, like full time or something like that, or if you do make YouTube videos, what's gonna be your, like, what is it gonna be about? What are you gonna do? And I never really have an answer for that. I'm always like, okay, it could, like, they're like vlogs about my life, something that's important to me. And so it could be like a day in my life. It could be like something like as a topic or a story or a person. And so I don't really have like an answer. Like if you think of Casey Neistat, you're always like, okay, vlogger. He's a vlogger. He documents his life and he showcases on social media. If you think of Peter McKinnon, you're like, okay, photographer, filmmaker. That's it. And you know that's what he does. And so there you could find tutorials, you could find vlogs, but they'll have that central element of, filmmaking and photography in those videos. And so with that, I'm always like confused as to who I really am when it comes to my long form serious content.
Okay.
But I guess slowly I am figuring out what I'm not. And so when I started out, I like on YouTube, I started out with like Nameless and with the skits and everything. And while that was fun, I don't think I'm that. And so I dropped that. I made some travel films, something that where I was interested in video editing and cinematography. I don't think I'm that interested in that anymore. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pursue like travel filmmaking or like short films of that nature. I also made like vlogs early in the day, but my vlogs have like sort of transformed. They're like, better in quality, better in terms of storytelling and stuff. And so I think I'm close, not just there yet. So I like vlogs. I like that kind of content that's very like easy to digest. I just don't know what's my niche yet. So what am I going to be? If you go to my YouTube channel, when you go to Saim Rahman's YouTube channel, I want people to instantly know, like instantly have an idea of what they're going to visit, So when someone says Saim's channel, they know, okay, these kind of videos. I don't want them to be confused. So I guess I'm not there yet. I still am stuck, if I'm going to be honest.
So because, no, makes sense. I listened to Dan Coe, and he's big on your niche is basically you. So what is it that you, first of all, what are you interested in life?
Well, I'm interested in like traveling the world. I'm interested in, dancing. I love dancing. Even I wouldn't say I'm good, but I love dancing. I love hanging out with my friends. I love, sometimes I just love relaxing, chilling, watching a movie on Netflix and stuff like that. And so I do think that my content does revolve around stuff that I do and stuff that I like. Just need to showcase more of that, I guess.
I'm trying to figure out myself, I guess, asking you, like, I don't know what my niche is, I like creatives, but I like business entrepreneurs as well. And then there's also a saying like, first you should stick to one thing and then expand. So
yeah,
I feel like it's like life. I don't think you're gonna figure it out because you're just constantly evolving.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And I think in this pursuit of figuring it all out, you sort of experiment your way through it, and that's enough, I guess. I don't think it doesn't need to be perfect. I think that's enough.
Indeed, yeah. Because I mean, I don't know how to end this, but yeah, I guess we'll end it here more awkwardly. No, not the podcast, but this topic.
I know.
Okay, so how would you describe Pakistan's creative scene right now?
bro, it's booming, bro. It's like crazy. There's like a whole world here of content creators and like creators and like that I don't even know about. Like a lot of people don't know about. Like the people in our rural areas, like the village people and everything. There's so many creators there, and they don't make jack shit, bro. But like they tell amazing stories. They make funny content. They make serious stuff. Like there's this guy. He has an Instagram page. It's called Arshad Reels. His name is Arshad.
Okay.
And he makes this really funny, like, short skits with his little daughter and his wife. And he's viral right now in Pakistan. He's crazy viral. And it's crazy. And, like, then there's, like, the big names. They, of course,
Like
are,
Saim,
like, pretty cool. One day, not right now, but one day. But, like, you know, my
It's
biggest
coming.
inspiration, the one who also gave me this hoodie, Irfan Janejo. He's like our guru, man. Like a lot of people, I think after he started YouTube, it wasn't something that just some people did. Bro, so many people got into content creation because of him. He like inspired so many people to like pick up the camera and just film. And ever since that, I think anyone it's like in Urdu they say कि like they say that about I think they say that about Karachi, but what they say is that अगर आप पत्थर फेंको तो या तो कुत्ते को लगेगा या एक content creator को लगेगा. So like what that means is that you know you're gonna if you throw a rock it's either gonna like hurt a dog or like a content creator. And so anyone's a creator. Anyone who has an Instagram account or like a YouTube channel, most of them are on Instagram, but like TikTok, it's crazy. And I support it. I'm all for it, man.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm genuinely so happy, and I hope this brings like some awareness to countries like North America, because I thought in Pakistan you still have no ability to become a content creator, but I'm wrong, and I'm happy that I'm wrong, because
Yeah.
you know when I was living in Pakistan, it was so long ago. I think 15 years ago now. Wow. Man, you had your job. You would finish studying, have your job, get married, and
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. But you know
that's awesome.
The thing here is that it's still a bit sad though, you know, because it's not monetized here. Or even if it is, it's not a lot, because you know when the CPM like on YouTube, it's really bad, bro. Like for like every 1,000 views you get like such little money. Is that for you to sustain yourself as a creator, you really need to like have a good relationship with brands, and like you need to have some kind of brand value so that brands approach you and sponsor your videos for you to make money. And so in Pakistan, all the creators that are making money, they're just making money through sponsorships. But everywhere else in the world, they're making money also just by the YouTube partnership program. And that's something that I really don't like. I wish, you know, because sometimes you just don't want to do a video for a sponsor or like with a sponsor. You just want to make a video just for yourself. The whole duration of the video is you. And if that's paying you money, that's great. That's it. That just doesn't happen here if you have a Pakistani audience. So that sucks, but still, it's not the worst situation here. So that's great, I guess.
Yo, there was talks about potentially TikTok getting banned or YouTube getting banned in Pakistan. What would you do if that happened?
I mean, it did happen like back in 2010, I think. Like for a very long time, like for years, YouTube was banned in Pakistan. Like if we wanted to like watch anything on YouTube, we would use like proxies or VPNs. If not, then we would just watch our stuff on Facebook, because like our very, very early creators in Pakistan did start on Facebook. They didn't have the option to start a YouTube channel. Like there was no such thing because it was banned. And so that sucked. And when it finally like got unbanned, that was actually really great. But it was way too late for us too. I think we should have had YouTube sooner. Like, but if it happens again, like that's gonna suck, man. Like, sometimes when there's like these political rallies and this, stuff in Pakistan, they just shut down everything. And so Instagram is down, Twitter is down, YouTube is down, Facebook is down, everything is down. Only WhatsApp works. And that's so scary because like a lot of people's incomes depend on Instagram or like YouTube. And if you just suddenly kill that off, it's scary.
Yeah, 100%. Dude.
Yeah. So I don't want to think about it.
100%. Would you ever move out of Pakistan?
I think I would. But I don't know. There's like this conundrum in my head because like, my audience is Pakistani, and if I make content in Pakistan about Pakistan or stuff that is happening to me or my people around me in Pakistan, that's more sort of relatable and that would help me garner an audience as well. So that sort of bugs me that, if I move out, will I be able to, have an audience or grow as a creator? But in terms of the lifestyle and living situation, maybe moving abroad would be better. So I guess we'll see.
So just a quick question, because your oldest video on YouTube, it was about hyperlapsing. Was that the time you found out that you love editing and telling stories?
I wouldn't say that was the time I found out. Well, I didn't really find out that I love telling stories. I guess I just did it. But when I did that, it was like there was like this boom of like some YouTubers and filmmakers. I don't know if you've heard of this guy called Sam Colder.
Sam Holder?
Sam Colder. Sam Colder. And then there was this creator called Ben TK and then JR Ali. So what these guys did was that like they visited, like they used to like travel to all these different cities and countries in the world and make like a travel film. And so it had like really, really cool editing techniques and transitions and like sound effects and everything like that, and filmed really nicely. And the cinematography is just great. So travel filmmaking went really viral. And one of the techniques that people really used to do was hyperlapses. And I was really intrigued by it. And I was like, okay, I want to try this. Because at that time I was learning how to edit. And so I was like, okay, everything that I learn or every cool thing that I, see, I just want to try it. And so hyperlapses, I tried that with a short film. I completely copied the idea from this travel filmmaker called JR Ali. It was his video. It was called London, A City in Motion. He used this track and he edited it really nicely. And I just copied the track and, used that same style of filmmaking just to see how well I do. So yeah, I guess I did learn a lot in terms of editing doing that project. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's all about like learning for me. So I really loved editing then.
Then, not now?
Then, yes. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of editing right now. No.
Why?
It's a very tedious process. It's like
it is.
It's like, oh God, I have to edit now. It's like something that I would eventually want someone else to do for me. And I would just focus on the writing and the storytelling aspect of it. I would like to supervise editing, but I wouldn't want to do the actual work because it's just too tedious for me. I wouldn't say I'm lazy. Maybe I am lazy. I don't know. But like, it's sometimes it just gets too much.
I feel that, man. I have like 6-7 podcasts that need to get edited. I haven't posted in a month. I feel that.
Yeah.
But I feel like now we kind of have resources where we can hire an editor. Why don't you?
Exactly. But the problem with that is that, okay, this is where I probably do believe that I'm good at storytelling, is because I'm good at storytelling when I edit stuff myself. So, when I was working at Pakistan Now, what it was supposed to be was like I'd have a researcher slash writer who I would work with and write a script. I would do the filmmaking and talking and being in front of the camera part, and then I would have an editor. But it wasn't working out. And so when I put out the first episode, there was like a month and a half of work that went into it, but it wasn't working. And so we decided that, okay, I'm going to do everything myself. And so that's the problem about having someone else do it for you. It's hard to have that vision and that understanding of editing a video a certain way for it to tell a certain story, translate that to someone else. Like, it's not that easy. So I feel like I do have to end up doing that myself. And so the way I edit my videos, I don't think anyone else would be able to do that unless we really get down to it and I teach him or her how to go through it.
I feel that because even having this conversation with you, I'm like, yo, there's this 1 second thing that I want in the podcast. And then there's this second thing that I don't. But how do I convey that message to my editor that I just hired? Isn't it easier for me to just do that one thing real quick? But you gotta, I guess, look long term, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, you have to overlook this. Otherwise, you become too much of a perfectionist and then you just don't get anywhere.
Well, minus the don't get anywhere. Do you feel like you're at that point where you're like, oh man, I'm just a perfectionist?
Yeah.
A lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. I know.
Okay. So we have a few segments. How much time do you have, by the way?
I have time. Don't worry.
Oh, you have time? Okay, sweet. So you basically posted on your story that, you know, some people will ask some questions. So I picked the 3 questions that I personally liked and would have asked you if you were sitting right beside me. First of all, what is your biggest fear?
I don't know. So I don't know if it's my biggest fear, but one of my biggest fears is losing someone that I really, really love. Because sometimes in my head, I get like these scenarios out of the blue. And I don't like it. I don't like how it happens. Sometimes it happens in my dreams or something, but sometimes it just happens if I'm just working or like walking or anything like that. And I get a thought of, you know, losing my mom or like my dad or like my sister or a friend of mine or someone I'm really close to. And it bothers the hell out of me. I'm like, okay, I don't want that scenario playing out ever. So that's like one of the biggest fears I have.
Man, let me tell you, same. And sometimes out of the blue, I'd be taking a shower and I'd get that thought. And I'm like, holy, where did this come from? Like, I'm just trying to
exactly
shampoo my hair, dog.
Exactly. I don't know.
Bro, I think it's called I think it's related to mental health. I'm big into mental health. I was actually diagnosed with OCD. And basically what it is just real quick, like obsessive compulsive disorder. So anything that scares me, I will start thinking about those things. So ever since I've been a kid, for example, if I'm at the gym, I need to put weight at a certain place or clean the bench a certain way. Otherwise, something bad will happen to my dad.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that.
So, yeah. And for the longest time, I was like, yo, I think I'm the only one who thinks this way. But then comes to find out there's millions of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks, man. But I guess it is what it is. And you deal with it one way or another.
But a nice thing is, it gets easier with time. At least I have found that for myself, and I hope others can too.
Yeah, it gets, I think with a lot of this stuff, it gets easier, of course, with time, but also with like having the right people around you.
100%.
Yeah, because like you mentioned your girlfriend, right? And I'm pretty sure she has a huge role in your life. And it's like the kind of person that you are today. I feel like she has a like she played a hand in that. And
100%.
it doesn't matter like who's your company. If they're there to support you and be like your pillars, then you're at the right, like you're on the right track.
Yeah, I've been very grateful for the people that I've had around my life. Like, man, I was at a point where, and this was like a year and a half ago when I just moved to Montreal. I literally packed up my bags and just moved to Montreal because I was like, I don't know what else to do. Because I moved from my parents, like where they were living. We were living in different cities, but same province. And I was like, yo, I feel like there's more to life than the small city I was living in. And when I just moved, I didn't have a job. And I was like, yo, I think I've just made the biggest mistake of my life. And I was hating myself every single day. And then she came in my life and she was like, yo, I feel like, she's like, no, you're cool. You're okay, type of thing. And then slowly and surely, I was like, you know what? Let me just take my life one day at a time. And I guess now I have this podcast thing.
And that's nice. You should be proud of yourself, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have you achieved what you dreamed of 5 years ago? That's another question.
Yes, I think I have. I mean, 5 years ago, I thought that, so what was 5 years ago? It was 2018, 2019?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's when you were doing SKG vlogs.
Yeah, exactly. And it was during that time that there's this guy in my SKG vlogs. His name is Tajdar. We call him Taji. And I remember I told him during that time, I think, that, one day, like, I'm going to have like 100K followers on Instagram. Just you wait. And just before the year ended, 2023, I had that. And I'm like, bro, that's so crazy. I mean, I can't believe I did that. I mean, it took me like 8 years to be that at that point, but still, it's crazy.
And bro, now you're at 119.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
But because I've been following up, and you're like one of the people that like I always look at your stories, and you post consistently too. So I've just been looking at it. It's like the growth exponential.
Yeah, bro. I just recently started doing that. I'm not that consistent. I wouldn't say I'm consistent because if you go to my, for example, YouTube or even Instagram before I started doing this, I would post very occasionally. But I've just realized that, it's Instagram, like for now, Instagram I'm talking about, nothing else. It's a very goofy place for me. It's like, okay, a place where I could be goofy and funny, and I don't really care much about it. I just want, and I know that the kind of stuff that I post will get the right engagement and the views and the reach. And so I know I'm kind of gonna grow there. And that's why I just post whatever without thinking much about it. And so that's why I'm very consistent there. But when it comes to the inconsistency, that's YouTube. But we're solving that this year as well. And we're working on that.
And how do you deal with insecurities?
So I think for me, it was like expressing who I am. When I was young, I was bullied a lot in school. And I think it made me really insecure about who I am as a person and how I looked and everything like that. Even how because I was made fun of a lot of things. And, I guess I sort of took to Vine and Snapchat and stuff like that to be like this quirky, funny, weird guy who is, trying to fight that energy that bullying had on me. And so that's how I dealt with it. I don't think I'm like secure fully right now. I think I still am insecure about the way I look. The other day, a few of my friends asked me, why don't you like also do like fashion stuff, like, modeling and stuff like that. And I just said that I'm just insecure about the way I look. And they're like, why? I thought you had like good self-esteem. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. I have like high self-esteem when it comes to my personality, but not with the way I look. And I guess how you deal with that is just by expressing it in one way or another. So whether that's to a friend or family member, or the way I did it is that when I was insecure about my personality, I just expressed it on social media, and I came to this point because of that. So I think expression helps me deal with insecurities.
Can I say something? My biggest insecurity is the way I communicate with people.
Really?
And I ended up starting
and
a
you're
podcast.
a podcast
Yeah.
host. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
See?
I still
That's what I mean.
Yeah, bro, because it's like, first of all, I truly believe nobody will ever be fully secure in their body.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to embrace insecurities. I was the kid in my high school graduation day where I didn't have like close friends to, celebrate the day with, because I used to always just play FIFA because I didn't want it to be around people and stuff like that. But then in uni, I ended up throwing parties and stuff like that, started the brand, because it's like, the only way to deal with these insecurities is to combat them. And it's going to be the hardest thing ever. But it is worth it.
I agree with you.
And that's what gives you confidence.
Yeah. Exactly. But the fact that your biggest insecurity is communicating with people and you're a podcast host, bro, that's exactly what I mean. You're facing it head on. And so, beautiful. I love it.
I mean, I guess you got to lead by example. I don't know. I'm not leading anybody yet, but hopefully I can be a good example.
You are. And you will be.
Thank you. Thank you. I kind of want to know about the content and you as a creative. Just like, it's a short segment. What is a brand or a project that you have an eye on right now?
Well, in terms of the brand, I don't think I have an eye on anyone right now, if I'm going to be honest. I just take things as they come. But a project, so there's this one project that I haven't really started like even properly thinking about it. It's not a brand related project. It's a personal project, but it's basically the final episode of Milwate Hain Aapko. It's going to be about myself. And that's a tough one because I don't know how to fit all of that into one video. And that's something that I really want to, when I do make it, whenever I do, I want it to be really good. So that's something that it's on my head, at the back of my head for a while now. And one day we're going to work on it.
Inshallah. By the way, the brand and the project doesn't have to be about you. It could be any, like, for example, right now, I like the brand, Apple.
Oh, okay. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I meant.
Still, I don't think I have an eye on any single, like a brand or anything like that. Like, it's just, I take things as they come.
Okay. What's a place? It could be your room. It could be a certain place in your house, cafe, store, your office that gives you the freedom to be that creative person that you want to be.
Well, I would definitely say it's my room. I think, and not just like this room in particular, any room that I have that's mine, that's my space. I think that's where I can be the most creative. I'm by myself. And when I like think about ideas and stuff like that, I sort of like walk around. So like I walk back and forth whenever I'm thinking about stuff. You know, when I used to study, that's how I did it. And if I am walking around in a space that I'm comfortable at, which the most I'm comfortable in is in my room, I get crazy ideas. I get a lot of work done and stuff like that. So my room, it's my space.
What's a object, any material thing that you would like to own in 2024?
Ooh, oh, nice. I would like to own a PlayStation 5 or a MacBook Pro, like an M1 or M2. Like, I would like to own either one of these things.
Okay, hopefully that's coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you could, this is so hard, and I'm sorry for asking this question, but if it was one person that you can, like, who inspired your creative journey? If you were to sum it down to just one person, or you know what, I take it back.
Oh.
You can say as many people as you want.
So basically, who started it for me was this guy called, but I wouldn't say creative journey, more like, how to express myself and express my personality on social media. It was this guy called Christian Del Grosso. I don't know if you know of him. He used to make like these funny vines, and he still makes videos. He's so funny. He's like my inspiration. He made me start it. And like I wouldn't be where I am today without him. And this other person who's a creative as well is Irfan Junejo. He's like, I mentioned him earlier in this podcast as well, but he is like my biggest inspiration out there. I think other than people out there that I haven't really met, I think I've inspired my creative journey.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
While Christian did have like an effect on me in that sense, this is a cool guy and I would like to be like him, sort of that way. But, no one really actually told me about, making videos. People around me, no one actually like said that, this is something that you could do or maybe you're good at. It's just something that I thought, it's cool, let me try it. And I did it alone, like in my own space. Of course, my parents and my brother and sister never said anything about it. Like, and if I wanted them to help me, they would. But like, it's just something that I did during my free time. And I was like, okay, I want to make this. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I kept trying and I kept going at it. And 8-9 years later, I'm still here. I'm still doing the same thing. And I think I was the reason I kept doing that. Well, I was the main reason, not the only reason, the main reason.
But I mean, that goes without saying. That makes sense. I have a quick favor. Can you grab a paper and a pen if you have around you?
Yeah. I have my notebook and I have a pen. So what do you want me to do?
So now imagine this paper is a billboard and it captures all creatives' attention in the world. What message would you display on it? Can you write it down? You can take as much time as possible.
So all the creatives in the world can see
all
this
the creatives.
billboard. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I've written it down.
I really appreciate you doing this.
No worries, bro. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, and can you show it to me too?
The handwriting's a bit bad and it's a bit crooked, but I don't know if it'll be flipped or not. But this is what it says.
Okay. And what does it say? Keep sharing your story.
Yeah, just keep sharing.
Why do
If
you
you're
say
a
that?
creator, I think your story matters. And if you can keep sharing it, it might inspire someone. It might light up someone's world. It might even make them sad. It might give them some kind of perspective on something in their lives. But I think we need more stories. And there's thousands, millions, billions of stories to tell. I just think we need them. I think we need them to escape the sad parts or the very uncomfortable parts of our lives. We need them to maybe give us hope or maybe, distract us from something that's, I don't know, bad. Or I think stories are just beautiful. And if you keep sharing your story, then you're spreading beauty. And that's what we need. That's what this world needs.
That was beautiful. I wish we could end it there, but there is one thing I still need to talk about. So I watched your 4,000 subscriber thank you video yesterday.
Okay.
What has changed since then? And what's next for you as a creative?
And so since then, I made that video when I was on my exchange. semester. So I've come back. I've graduated. I got a job. I'm like independent in that sense. You know, I'm making my own money, and I'm truly at a much better place than I was then. I was very stressed about studies, and while I was, and the thing that has stayed the same is the gratitude. I'm really grateful still for every single person that has supported me throughout this journey. But yeah, a lot has changed, and when it comes to the goals for like the following years, I think I just want to keep growing and keep sharing, because I just don't want to stop. This is something that I plan on doing till the day I die. And so, yeah, the goal for this year is make at least 25 to 30 videos on YouTube. So we're going to see if that works out or not.
Okay. Let's hope that works out,
Yeah.
because bro, everybody wants
Yeah.
to watch your videos.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Of course. And you know, Saim to another Saim, if other creatives want to get in touch with you and start a conversation, what are some of the easiest ways?
Well, the easiest way is to DM me. And of course, there's a way to DM me, like, make sure whatever you want to talk about or whatever you want to say, you say that in that one message, and just reach out to me. And if I think that's a genuine way to approach, then I'll just reply and we'll talk, just like you did. I mean, a lot of people just message me and they're like, "Hi." I'm like, okay, but what do you want to talk about? Like, what do you want to say? Like, what? But you first of all, you told me that, okay, you know this specific person and that you want to reach out to me for a podcast. That was a request. That was something that, okay, I know what to say to this. What do I say to a hi? I don't even know you, bro. But like, yeah. So yeah, my message, my DMs. And if that doesn't work, then my email.
That's awesome. Everybody needs to go check out your storytelling abilities and just your story in general, man. The relatability, the humor you provide, the B-roll and the voiceover, I just love it. And I think you deserve it. You've been doing it for 10 years now. But bro, you got to be more consistent. So 25 to 30 videos, let's get it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get it. I'm going to do that.
Inshallah. And bro, thanks again for having this conversation with me. Anybody else you think I should have a conversation with? A creative?
A Pakistani or anyone in general?
Anybody?
Well, I think you should have a conversation with who should you have? I think you should have a conversation with Amna Riaz. She is a musician and she's a great singer, great artist, like great writer as well. She writes amazing songs. I think you should maybe talk to her and have a conversation about the music industry in Pakistan, especially for women in the industry.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Saim, thank you for coming to the show, having a conversation. Hopefully, I do this to build genuine friendships, relationships with people like you. And I hope this is not the last time of us talking. And whenever I come to Pakistan, hopefully soon, or you come to Canada, we'll definitely do something. Play a game of FIFA, and I'll beat you.
Yeah. I would love that.
That's awesome.